When I think about how Rocky Horror can kind of resonate in a fresh manner, I have to remind myself that Rocky Horror has been completely fine without me for 52 years. And I think there's a danger sometimes in doing revivals and being like, yeah, we're going to make it crazy. We're going to make it work for 2026. And in fact, Rocky Horror has not gone out of anyone's consciousness for 52 years. And so to me, the joy of it is not about like making it relevant, my least favorite word, or topical or timely, but making it something that audiences in 2026 can crash into at the end of a hard day and feel titillated by and excited by and surprised by and welcomed into. And that's just about trusting what's there. It's about casting great actors. It's about making what to me is the most incredible score in all of musical theater sound awesome. It's about trusting the weirdness of it and the freakiness of it, just as I would were I doing it 10 years ago or 20 years ago or 100 years into the future. So I hope that we are making a Rocky Horror that feels loving and in a way recognizable to anyone that loves Rocky Horror, and also that feels like it completely embraces being a live event in 2026. And who's to know what 2026 will feel like as this is being recorded in 2025. So the Rocky Horror Show is inspired by all of these amazing sci-fi movies and horror movies that the Richard O'Brien and his pals were obsessed with. So it is a show that is created from deep obsession and, to me, most importantly, deep love. It is this crazy act of love. And so there's a lot of things about the plot and about the characters that are recognizable from other beloved films, right? There's really obvious parallels to Frankenstein, to any story that is a young, wide-eyed couple showing up at a big, scary door. And on the other side of that door is danger and adventure and, to me, most importantly, fun. So Brad and Janet are our heroes, Janet especially. And Janet falls down this rabbit hole, and over the course of the evening, experiences things that I think she never thought she would, and becomes something that she didn't know she had in her. And I think, to me, part of the enduring legacy of Rocky Horror, and part of what keeps people coming back to it over and over and over again, is that the audience sees themselves in Brad and Janet. It is this incredible opportunity to take an audience safely on an adventure that by the end says, hey, maybe there's something else in there that you weren't exploring. Don't dream it, be it is heavy stuff. It's big stuff. And don't dream it, be it might mean I'm gonna leave my husband. And it also might mean I'm gonna get bangs. And I think Janet, as a stand-in for both the audience and anyone who has ever been curious about what's on the other side of the wall, is a real hero in the classic sense for us to go through the journey with. She's like Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz. I've been asked a lot as I've been putting Rocky together about like, is it immersive? Which is like not a word that I love, mostly because I don't know what that word means, I have to be honest. Like when I hear immersive, I imagine that someone's gonna like hand me something and like kiss me in a weird way, and I don't like that. It's not immersive. It's in a theater. It takes place on a stage. I hope that it is an experience for the audience, but frankly, I would hope that if we were doing Uncle Vanya, because the joy of going to the theater to me, especially now as the robots threaten to take over, the joy of going to the theater is I get to do something live in a room with other people that could only happen in a room with other people. So in terms of the design of it and the technical approach, it's very analog. It's not high tech. There's no video screens. It is, I hope, punk rock theater of the 1970s that demands us to all be in a room together and to do the thing that theater does best. It's great actors singing great songs. Yes, it will break the fourth wall sometimes, but like, nobody panic. Like, we're not gonna be climbing all over your theater, I promise. You know, one of the things that I think makes Rocky Horror awesome as a musical is that it knows the audience is there. So sometimes it talks directly to us. And to perhaps name an elephant in the room, it does come with this legacy of some people wanting to show up and talk back to it. And that's great. We're ready for that. And it is the musical on a big stage. It is not a $10 midnight screening. So there's way more to it than this kind of like camp tradition that is amazing and is a part of what Rocky Horror is, but it's not all that Rocky Horror is. So I want to lovingly soothe any anxieties about the kind of immersive nature of it. It is, I hope it feels like a party, but I don't mean like you're at a party. I don't know how to do that. It's a musical, and it's a good musical. That's what people forget about Rocky Horror. It's a great musical. It's such a good musical. The music's great. It's like so crazy. Like, people always think I'm joking. They're like, I'm like, the thing I'm gonna do is like direct a musical. Like, it's not like a pile of broken bones on the ground. Like, it is a story that's really funny and really exciting and really surprising and really stupid. And it's great characters that you fall in love with. And it's not so much that you can't keep track of. And it's connected by these like killer tunes. What more could you want? I don't mean to be flippant about it, but the bones are good. Like, there is a reason that people keep coming back to it. And it isn't just that like Tim Curry is amazing or that like fishnets are fun. Like, there's a thing to grab onto that carries you through the whole thing. Otherwise, you would turn it off in the first 10 minutes. Should the audiences in the touring markets be afraid of Rocky Horror? No, they shouldn't. I mean, are they afraid of like singing witches or singing hyenas? Are they afraid of, you know, flying carpets? Like, I think anything that is worth putting your pants on and leaving the house for is a big swing that you have to go to the theater to get. And Rocky Horror is just another one of those. It is, I think, a slight misunderstanding of the title when it's thought of as kind of like counterculture. It is 52 years old. Rocky Horror is, at this point, I say lovingly, completely mainstream. The Rocky Horror Show is The Wizard of Oz, is Alice in Wonderland. It is a title that my grandmother knows, who doesn't know my name, I don't think. So I think, you know, I don't want to be conservative about the approach, but I think it is safe for all of us to treat it like canon. And the challenge for me, for everyone I'm working with, for those producing it, for those thinking about bringing it to Richmond, Virginia, where I grew up, they'd love to see it, is how to tell that story in a way that says this is a first-class, theatrical, large-scale experience that is worth your Friday night. It is not something in a basement with a film's playing and some people dancing in front of it that you could pay $5 for. And I'm well aware of that challenge. And all I can say right now is I'm working on it. I'm really working on it. The thing we're making on Broadway, I think will, I hope, embrace the truth at the center of Rocky Horror, that it is a trashy little musical, a scrappy, trashy little musical, and be unafraid to embrace the full scale of Studio 54. I want to make something that feels like it's always been at Studio 54. And it had to be at Studio 54. It's too big, it's too uncontainable to be at a small theater in a basement. And I hope that that spirit transfers very easily to other markets, other towns, other probably even bigger theaters. The folks who put on fishnets and went to see Rocky Horror and had Rocky Horror change their lives when it first came out are now in their 70s and 80s. So I think that, speaking for myself, I'm often guilty of underestimating the audience that we collectively as theater makers think of as the core audience, the audience that is always going to show up. Old people weren't always old. And some of the freakiest, bravest, most risk-taking audiences I've encountered might not look that way. So I want to give people credit, and I want to remember that the Rocky Horror Show has outlived many of us and will outlive many of us, and that one of the things that's so special about it is that, yes, it's freaky. It is freaky. And it has an intergenerational fan base. And I don't know many things that feel countercultural that have that. Hair, maybe? So the original like Rocky Horror lunatics are our grandparents now. And that's what's awesome about it. And I hope we make this in a way that embraces the 19-year-old who's never heard of Rocky Horror before, who was like, oh my God, there's a whole world out there that I didn't know about. And the 85-year-old who's like wearing sequins for the first time in 10 years because they're coming to see the Rocky Horror Show and not Frozen. I know which one I would rather see. I love this question. Should the audiences in the touring markets be afraid of Rocky Horror? With love, my answer is no. There are so many other things to be afraid of. Please don't be afraid of a musical, especially a beloved musical that's been around for 52 years. I promise you that the thing we're making is first and foremost just trying to be a brilliant, entertaining night out. One of the really fun things about Rocky Horror to me is that it titillates. It definitely titillates. It should make every person in the audience be like, ooh. But there's a difference between ooh and ah. And I think it's the first one. I think it's a thing that, you know, a 15-year-old should feel a little naughty to be at, but we shouldn't feel gross having 15-year-olds there. And it rides a really fun line to me of danger and silliness.